let us now solve some problems based on electric current and drift velocity and resistance, resistivity, conductivity. On that, we will solve some problems. One of the problems is, for example, one is, in an atom, an electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbit at the rate of 10 to the power 15 revolution per second. Calculate the equivalent current. And as you know, the charge of the electron is given, that is 1.6 and 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. Now, so to solve this one, as already know that, let me introduce the expression for current. The I is equal to the current in a conductor, I is equal to Q by T. So I is equal to Q by T. That is the general formula for current. I is equal to rate of flow of charge to any cross section of a conductor. So this Q, I can write this Q is equal to, in way, the Q is N number of electrons and charge of electron. That I can write also Q is equal to Ne by T. This is another formula from here. The other way of writing this one is that, as you know, this is the time taken. Right? So if this is the time taken, as you know that 1 by time or the time period, in the revolution case, when an electron revolves around the circular orbit in one revolution, this is the complete one revolution, that is what is the time period. The time period relates to frequency, so the frequency is equal to 1 by time period. This is a general formula, already you know that. The frequency is equal to 1 by time period. So on that basis, in this question, an electron revolves around the nucleus. Means the electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbit at the rate of this much revolution per second, 10 to the power 15 revolution per second. Means this is the frequency. If this is the frequency, then you can know that the time period or the time taken to complete the revolution, T is equal to 1 by frequency. This is the time. That time I can put here, so I can write this as I is equal to, if charge is Q, in this case electron is given, so Q is equal to E, the charge of the electron, and 1 by time period. 1 by time period, that is equal to frequency, so I can write I is equal to U into nu, that is frequency. So this is another formula we can use. So on that basis, by using this formula, I will calculate the current in this case. So here it is given what? Now given frequency is equal to 10 to the power 15 revolution per second. It is given. That is the frequency. And the time period, we can say T is equal to 1 by frequency. So 1 by 10 to the power 15. Right? This is equal to 10 to the power minus 15 second. This is the time. So this is the time taken by an electron to revolve around the nucleus. That I calculate from this 10 to the 15 revolution per second. Now the equivalent current I is equal to, go to the formula Q by T, as I have already written that, then Q, or in this case, I is equal to Q is the E, electron is revolving, charge is E, 1 by time period is equal to what? You can write this as equal to frequency. So this is equal to, I can write E into frequency, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, that is the charge of electron, into the frequency is 10 to the power minus 15. So this is equal to 1.6, right, into 10 to the power into what? This is, so this is equal to 1.6, that is the minus 19, the frequency, I put this frequency directly what? 10 to the 15 revolution per second. So this is frequency 10 to the 15, so this is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4, and here, this is the current. Right? So this is your answer for this example 1. Right? Next example 2. In a discharge tube, the number of hydrogen ions drifting across a cross section per second is 1.0 into 10 to the power 18, while the number of electrons drifting in opposite direction across that cross section is 2.7 into 10 to the power 18 per second. Calculate the total current crossing the given cross section. So in a discharge tube, so this is a device like that. This is supposed to be a discharge tube. In this discharge tube, it is given the number of hydrogen ions drifting across a cross section. Suppose this is a cross section. The number of hydrogen ions plus ion per second is H plus is given in this direction. Suppose through this cross section H plus ions crossing per second. How much is that? 1 into 10 to the power 18. So I can write this as number of hydrogen atoms per second, that is given 1 into 10 to the power 18. It is given. In that same, while the number of electrons drifting in opposite direction, so these are the electrons in this opposite direction per second. Number of electrons per second is given. How much that is? 2.7 into 10 to the power 80 per second. So calculate the total current crossing the given cross section. Now you have to see there are two charge levels are there. One is hydrogen ion, other one is the electron. When you say about the hydrogen ions crossing, then current, it is asked about your current. This current is your conventional current. As you know, what is the direction of current? It is the direction in which the positive charges flows. So in that case, the hydrogen is the positive ion, so this is the direction of current. I for this hydrogen ion, I H plus. Let me tell for hydrogen ion, this is a I H plus. Now the electrons are drifting in opposite direction. Then what is the direction of current due to this flow of electrons or electrons opposite to the direction? For negative charge, when the electrons moves in one direction, the current will be in opposite direction. So what is the direction of current? I or electrons. Current. So on that cross section, what is the current? Total current means it is because of H plus and also plus E plus. Because both are in the same direction. Electric current and algebraically. So because of both are in the same direction. So the current is because of hydrogen plus also electron. That is your question. So in that case, what I will use that I is equal to total charge by time. I is equal to P by T. Here Q is what? Q is equal to number of hydrogen atoms into, so this is NH by T. Charge of hydrogen atom, so hydrogen atom consists of one proton. So this is charge is E. Proton charge is equal to electron charge. So NHE plus charge is what? For electrons also Ne charge of electron E divided by T. Or I can write I is equal to NH plus Ne into E by T. I can write like this. Or I can write this is equal to NH by T plus Ne by T into E. That's what we do. Now put here the values are. So it is given NH by T. So let me write here NH by T. So I is equal to, let me write here, I is equal to NH by T 1 into 10 to the power 18 plus Ne by T given 2.7 into 10 to the power 18. This is the complete NH by T and Ne by T. That's why I have written this NH by T plus Ne by T. It is given. Crossing a cross section per second. Cross section per second. That's why I write NH by T, Ne by T. Into charge of electron 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 9. Right? So this is the total current. So if you put the values, you will get 0. Multiply this by using calculators. You can use by using the calculators. You get I is equal to 0.59 here. This is the current because of the flow of hydrogen ions and the electrons. Is that clear? So when you calculate this current, it is because of both plus charge and also because of the minus charge. So this is about the question number 2. Then next question comes to question number 3. Here it is given, see, read the question. The number density of electrons is 8.5 into 10 to the power 28 per meter cube. This is given, right? So the number density of electron is given means always you remember when you are using the drift velocity formula. So if I go to the drift velocity, I is equal to NADVD. That is the formula for drift velocity. Current and drift velocity. The current in the conductor I is equal to what is the same? Concentration of electron. Number of electrons per unit volume. It is not the total number of electrons. The number of electrons per unit volume. A is the area cross section of the conductor. E is the charge of the electron. The electrons are drifting. Vd is the drift velocity. That is the formula. So in that basis, in your question, what is given? The number density of electrons means N is given 8.5 into 10 to the power 28 per meter cube. That is given. Clear? What is the time taken by the electron to drift from one end of a wire 2.2 meter long? The length of the wire is given 2.2 meter length long to its other end. If area cross section of the wire is given, area cross section A is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. That is given. And it is carrying a current is given I is equal to 6 ampere. 6.0 or 6 ampere. That is given. This is given in your question. So what is the time taken I will calculate. Now to do that one, let me first find use the formula I is equal to NAEVD. So let me first find what is the drift velocity of the electron from here. So this implies that drift velocity Vd is equal to I by NAE. So this is equal to I is equal to given 6 ampere divided by N concentration 8.5 into 10 to the power 28 area 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 into charge of the electron P 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. That is drift velocity. So if you put that values, you will get the drift velocity is equal to 2.2 into 10 to the power 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter per second. This is the value of drift velocity. Clear? So this is the drift velocity of the electron. But in this question, it is asked about what? What is the time taken by the electron to drift from one end of a wire to other end? So from here we can know that suppose this is the conductor. The length is L. Length of the conductor is L given. The electrons are drifting. Suppose electrons are drifting with velocity Vd, that is drift velocity, and let the electron takes a time t to move from end A to B. Then this question is asked: did this velocity the electrons travel a distance L in time t? Then, as you know, the drift velocity Vd is equal to velocity formula. The general formula is Vd is equal to the distance L by t. This L by t should be equal to 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter per second. From here you can calculate this L is given. So from here you can calculate this t. T is equal to, you can take this t is equal to L by T is equal to L by 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 4. What that L given? Length of this one is 2.2 meter. So this is equal to 2.2 meter. So if you put that, this is T is equal to 10 to the power 1 by 2.2 get cancel. 10 to the power 1 by 10 to the minus 4 means 10 to the power 4 second. That is the time taken to time taken by the electron to drift from one end of the wire to the other end. Okay. Now come to the example number 4. The resistivity of the material of a wire is given. The resistivity or specific resistance is given 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 ohm CM. Let me make this as ohm meter. 4 into 10 to the power CM into 10 to the minus 2. This is 10 to the minus 7 ohm meter. That is given resistance. If the resistance of the wire is given, R is equal to 14 ohm, and its diameter is given, D is equal to 1 millimeter, means 10 to the minus 3 meter. That is given, right? This is the diameter. Calculate the length of the wire. So now we find out what is the length of the wire. So to do that, what we will use? Now I will know the formula. Rho is equal to R A by L. Resistance, area by L. Or from here you can say R or L is equal to, this implies L is equal to, calculate the length, L is equal to R A by U. But here area is not given. This area is not given means I can put this as R. Area is equal to pi d square by 4 into rho. Because area is what? Pi r square, its diameter is given, so I can put pi d square by 4 rho. So this is equal to, right? So L is equal to this much. So this implies L is equal to R is given 14 ohm into 3.14 into d square 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 4 into rho. 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 ohm meter. That is the values of rho. So this you will get, L is equal to multiply all these things, you will get 27.5 meter. By using the calculator, you can calculate the value as 27.5 meter. Clear? So this is the formula based on the resistivity and the resistance. So the important thing is here, for this area, its diameter is given. In this area part, you can put pi d square by 4 of area. That is the example number 4. Now come to the next is example number 5. A 10 ohm thick wire is stretched so that its length becomes 3 times. Assuming that there is no change in its density on stretching, calculate the resistance of the wire. So here is a very important thing is there. Before I solve this one, let me first give an introduction of this one on stretching. So the general thing is that when you are calculating this, this type of questions, when you solve this type of questions, what you know that, as you know, R is equal to rho L by A. That is the standard formula for this. So as you know, before I go to this question, let me understand this one. R is equal to rho L by A. For a constant, at a constant rho and A, its specific resistance is constant and area cross section is also constant. If this R and rho are constant, at a constant rho and A, you can say R is proportional to L. That's one part. Similarly, at a constant rho and L, R is inversely proportional to area. R is inversely proportional to area. This is general formula from this one, from the resistance formula. But remember one thing. When we stretch a wire, now go to this concept that in this case, that R is proportional to L means in that case, specific resistance is always constant for a conductor, already you know that. But at a constant area cross section, then R is proportional to L. But while stretching the wire, the length is increasing means the area cross section also changing. On stretching, you cannot keep the area constant. Similarly, on the stretching, if the area cross section is changing means it is on stretching, length changes, area cross section changes. So on the stretching case, you cannot put R is proportional to L, R is inversely proportional to L. You cannot put that. So what do we do? So in stretching, if you calculate this one, in the stretching case, now let me write here, in the stretching part, what remains constant? When you stretch the wire, the density remains constant. Density remains constant means we can say that density is equal to mass by volume. So the density remains constant means the volume of the wire remains constant. Because density is constant means the volume remains constant. So on that concept, on stretching, the volume remains constant means you can write if A1, L1 is the area and length, this is the volume before stretching, is equal to after stretching A2, L2. This is the number. Density remains constant means volume remains constant. That is mass by volume. So volume also remains constant. So A1, L1 is equal to A2, L2. Area into length is the volume before stretching. This is after stretching A2, L2. So volume remains constant. So while stretching cases are there, you can put A1 by A2. That should be equal to, you can write L2 by L1. That is in the case of stretching. This is the formula of the stretching case. And another thing is, when you calculate on the stretching case, what I will do, the volume remains constant. So the volume remains constant means I can write this as this question can be written as R is equal to rho L by A. So on stretching case, I will make this formula. On stretching, where L and A changes. On stretching means L and A, length and area cross section changes. So this is the formula. Here what I will do, this I can write this as rho L into L by A into L. So I can write this is equal to rho L square. A into L is the volume. So at a constant, on stretching, at constant, specification is constant, at constant rho and B, there is no change because on stretching volume remains constant. So R is proportional to L square. Remember this formula. On stretching, R is proportional to L square. Similarly, if on stretching L and A changes, if I write in terms of area cross section. So these are the general formula. For area cross section if I write, what I will do again, the same procedure is there. Let me write here. This is the formula. Now let us multiply area into area. Multiply area divided. So there is no change, area get cancelled. So this is equal to I can write rho L into area, volume divided by S. So at a constant rho and B, R is inversely proportional to A square. R is inversely proportional to L square. So on stretching, first part is R is proportional to L square and R is inversely proportional to A square. In this question it is given diameter, radius, all these things. So then you can write R is equal to proportional to 1 by area is pi R square or pi D square by 4. We can write pi R square. So 1 by pi is again a constant. So from here also I can write R is proportional to 1 by radius R square. It's inversely proportional to R square. Or in diameter case we can write it as what? This in diameter part we can write or R is proportional to 1 by pi R square means D square by 4. Again these are constant, pi by 4. So these are constant means I can write R is also inversely proportional to diameter square. Clear? So this is the okay, so now let pi R square into whole square. R is inverse to 1 by A square. So pi R square into whole square means pi R is inverse to R4. Here is pi D square by 4 whole square. Area square means D4. Diameter 4. The radius and the diameter case. So remember this formula. On stretching, R is inversely proportional to A square. R is directly proportional to L square. If radius is given, this is the radius. R is inversely proportional to R4. So this is the on formula used on stretching. So you cannot say R is proportional to L. So on that concept, in this using this formula, now we discuss this question. Example number 5. A 10 ohm thick wire. So the resistance R1 is equal to 10 ohm thick wire is stretched so that its length becomes 3 times. L2 length after stretching becomes 3 times of L1. Length becomes 3 times of initial L1. Assuming that there is no change in density, means the volume remains constant. On stretching, calculate the resistance of the new one. If you put the direct formula, I can write this as R1 is proportional to L1 square. Resistance after stretching, R2 is proportional to L2 square. So this you can write. This implies R1 by R2, constant of proportionality can cancel. This is equal to L1 square by L2 square. Or you can write this is equal to R1 by R2 is equal to L1 square by L2 square means what? This is 9 by L1 square. So L1 square get cancelled. This implies R1 by R2 is equal to 1 by 9. Or this implies R2 is equal to 9 into R1. So R1 is given 10 ohm. So you can put that this is 9 into 10, that is equal to 90 ohm. R2 is equal to 90 ohm. So on stretching, you can use the formula R is proportional to L square. Clear? Next, come to the next question is example number 6. So example 6 is given. A given wire is stretched to reduce its diameter to half of its original value. What will be its new resistance? So here we see the diameter is given to half of its original value. So means what? Now we go to the general formula. I will not again rewrite the formula. What I will say, as you know, on stretching, R is inversely proportional to area square. Or in diameter or radius, diameter is given. So as you know, R is inversely proportional to 1 by D4. D4 because area is equal to S square. Area is equal to pi D square by 4. Its square means R is inversely proportional to 1 by D4. So I can put this as R1 by R2. You can write. If initial is before stretching R1, after stretching R2 resistance. So this is equal to, can write what? Or I can write R1 is inversely proportional to 1 by D14. R2 is inversely proportional to 1 by D24. So R1 by R2 is equal to D2 4 by D1 4. So this is equal to implies R1 by R2 is equal to D2 4 by D1 4 means yes, the diameter to half of its original value. So it is the question is given D2 is equal to half of D1. D2 is equal to half of its original value. So D1 is original, so D2 is equal to half of D1. So I can write this as R1 by R2 is equal to D2 4 means 1 by 2 D1 4 divided by D1 2. This implies R1 by R2 is equal to D1 4 to get cancelled. So this is a half 4. Result? How much? R1 by R2 is equal to, how much? This is 1 by 2, 4 means 1 by 16. So R2 will be 16 times of R1. This is the resistance after stretching, that is R2 is equal to 16 R1. Here. So this is your example number 6. Okay. So this is your example number 6. Come to example number 7. In copper, there are 10 to the power 28 free electrons in unit cubic meter. Means that is the concentration or volume of the number of electrons per unit volume, all of which contribute to a current of 2 ampere. So the current is 2 ampere given, right? So this is the current of 2 ampere in the wire of copper with cross sectional area A is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square cross sectional area. Then what is the electric field in the wire? So the question is what is the electric field? So before we go to this electric field, how to calculate this electric field? As you know, the current density J is equal to current per unit area. And from here also we know that J current density, how it relates to electric field? J is equal to sigma into E. And here it is given the resistivity of the, so sigma, this is equal to E is equal to 1 by rho, so sigma is equal to conductivity, so this is equal to 1 by resistivity, right? So J is equal to E by rho. So if you put that value, J is equal to E by rho here, this is equal to E by rho is equal to I by A. So from here we will calculate the electric field in the wire. This implies E is equal to I rho by A. This is equal to I, what is the current given? 2 ampere. Rho is what? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 8. Clear? Minus 8 divided by, what is this area? 1 into 10 to the power minus 6. This is the area. If you put all these things and if you calculate, so you will get the value as this electric field is equal to get 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 2 volt per meter. 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 volt per. Okay, next question. At 27 degrees centigrade, the resistance of the resistor is 83 ohm. So this is R27, I can write RT is equal to 83 ohm given. What is the temperature of the resistor? If the resistance is found to be 100 ohm, let the temperature is suppose T, RT, the resistance is found to be RT is 100 ohm. And the temperature coefficient of the material of the resistor, that is called alpha. The temperature coefficient of the material of the resistor, alpha is given 1.7 into 10 to the power minus 4 per degree centigrade inverse. This is given. So as you know, the formula for resistors is the resistance of a conductor at T degree centigrade, RT is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha T. That is the general formula already you know that when you have calculated that and derive that. So RT is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha T. On that basis, I will use here for two cases. For R27 degree centigrade, it is given R27, it is given, so I can write this is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha, what is that T? That is 27. Similarly, at T degree centigrade, if I put RT is equal to same R0 into 1 plus alpha and that T, and calculate this T at what temperature. So on that here, if you put all these things, this R27 is given 83 ohm, RT is given 100 ohm. So this is your 83, this is your 100 ohm. And if you put that one, if you divide this two, 83 by 100 is equal to this R0 get cancelled. 1 plus 27 alpha divided by 1 plus alpha T. And if you solve this one, this equal to, we can write 83 plus 83 alpha T is equal to 100 plus 2700 alpha. So if we take this as so now come to 83 alpha T minus 2700 alpha equal to 100 minus 83. So I will get 83 T minus 2700 into alpha is equal to 17. 83 T minus 2700 is equal to 17 by alpha. Alpha is given what? 1.7 into 10 to the power minus 4. What again I will say here? 17 by 17 into 10 to the power minus 5. So this is decimal 1.7, so 17 to the minus 5. Get cancel. So 83t minus 2700 is equal to 10 to the power 5. So 83t is equal to 10 to the power 5 plus 2700. So t is equal to, now this one, so this is 10 to the power 5 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 2700 divided by 83. And you will get the value as, if you solve this one, you will get 1241 degree centigrade. I think you will get 1241 degree centigrade. This is the temperature at which the resistance is found to be 100 ohm with this is the resistivity of the material. Now come to question example number 9. A heater connected to a 220 volt supply draws a current of 3 ampere. So at a 220 volt supply, that the potential is a 220 volt supply, the current I1 is equal to 3 ampere. And after 5 seconds, the current drawn by it becomes 2.2 ampere. I2 is equal to 2.2 ampere. The current becomes 2.2 ampere. If that means the current when it is 2.2 ampere, the voltage at the time is also 220 volt supply. It is given. And if the initial temperature of the heater is 27 degrees centigrade, it is given 27 degrees centigrade. Then find its steady temperature, means at this time, what is this temperature T2? We will calculate the temperature T2. Given the temperature coefficient of resistance, alpha is given 0.00017 degrees centigrade inverse. That is given. So here also you will use the same formula. The thing is that the potential and current is given. So with this potential current, if you apply the Ohm's law, you can know at 27 degrees centigrade, at this temperature, what is the resistance of the wire? Because if the temperature changes, the resistance also changes. So at this initial case, according to Ohm's law, E is equal to IR. So in that basis, when I calculate this R1, that is V1 is equal to I1 R1. So from that I will calculate that this is R at 27 degrees centigrade. I will take this is R1. R27 is equal to V1 by I1. That is R at 27 degrees centigrade. So this is equal to 220 divided by 3 ampere. So if you put that 220 by 3, this will be 73.3 ohm. But we will find out R at T2. The resistance at T2 with this voltage and with this current, RT, let me take this, RT is equal to V1 or V2 by I2. So this equal to 220 by 2.2. This you will get 220 by 2 means what? This will be 100 ohm. Right? So this is 100 ohm. If this RT and R27, this RT and R27, I got this RT and R27. Now use the formula as R27 is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha into 27 alpha T. RT is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha T. And if you solve this one, R27 is given what? 73.3. So let's put this 73.3 ohm. RT is 100 ohm. 100 ohm is equal to this. If you solve this one, you have these two. 73.3 by 100. This R0 get cancelled. 1 plus 27 alpha divided by 1 plus alpha t. Your alpha value is given 0.00017. So we put that into 0.00017 alpha plus 0.017 into t. With this, multiply, cross multiply, and you will get that temperature T is equal to 2142.8 degrees centigrade. To solve that, you will get the answer is 2142.8 degree centigrade. So, this is about the examples based on electric current, drift velocity, resistance, resistivity, and how the resistance depends on temperature. Thank you.